Okay, let us solve some doubts from Maths Chapter 2, Compound Interest. Now the first doubt, I have marked all the doubts. Now the first doubt which was asked to me from exercise 2A was question number 2, second one. Calculate the amount and compound interest on, let me take black one. Calculate the amount and compound interest on rupees 8,000, which is the principal, in 2.5 years, which is time, at 15% per annum rate. So here what you have to do, I think the second one was the doubt, not the first one. I'm sorry, let me redo this. The principal is 20,000, time is 1/4 years, and rate is 10% per annum. So it's very easy. I'll just show you over here. So basically exercise 2A, question number 2, second one, principal for first year. Let me write it for first year. Principal is equal to rupees 20,000, time is equal to 1 year, rate is equal to 10% per annum. So you have to find the amount and compound interest. Let us first name them P1, T1, R1, and we have to find I1 which is 20,000 into 1 into 10 upon 10 upon 100. I'm sorry. So this 10 0 0 will cut, this 0 will cut. So I1 will be rupees 2,000. Okay, then for second year, P2 is equal to, I'm sorry, I missed one step. I have to find A1, which is P1 plus I1. I missed one step. Let me create some more space here. So A1 is equal to P1 plus I1, that is 20,000 plus 2,000, which is rupees 22,000. This is the amount after first year, which will become principal for the second year. So for second year, P2 is equal to 22,000, R2 is equal to 10% per annum, T2 is equal to 1 year, and I2 is equal to 22,000 into 1 into 10 upon 100. So I2 is 2200. So A2 is P2 plus I2, which is 22,000 plus 2,200, which is 24,200. Right? Now the time, total time, just the total time is 1/4 years. So here we are not going to do third year now. For the final 1/4 year, what will be P3? P3 will be 24,200. R3 will be 10% per annum. T3 will be 1 year. I3 will be 24,200 into 10. I'm sorry, T3 will be 1 by 4 here, okay? Into 10 into 1 by 4, the whole upon 100. So this two zeros will cut here right away. 2 twos are 2 fives are 2 121s are. So I3 will become 121 into 5. Okay, so 121 fives are 120 fives are is 600. 121 fives are 605 rupees 605. So A3 final amount will be P3 plus I3, which is 24,200 plus 605, which is 24,805. This is the final amount, and the total compound interest CI compound interest is equal to A3 minus P1, 24,805 minus 20,000, that is rupees 4,805, right? So the amount and compound interest has been found. I checked the answer, it is correct. Let's move on to the next doubt. The next doubt is sixth one. A borrowed rupees 2,500 from B at 12% per annum compound interest. After 2 years, A gave rupees 2,936 and a watch to B to clear the account. Find the cost of the watch. Okay, so first we have to find the amount due at the end of 2 years for the principal 2,500 at 12% per annum compound interest. Let's do that. So question number 6, 2A, question number 6. Okay, for first year, P1 is equal to rupees 2,500. R1 is equal to 12% per annum. T1. So I1 is 2,500 into 12 into 1 upon 100, that is 25 12s are rupees 300. I1, I'm sorry about that again. So can you tell me what will be A1? A1 will be P1 plus I1, that is 2,500 plus 300, that is rupees 2,800. This will be the amount at the end of first year. For second year, P2 is equal to A1, that is 2,800. R2 is 12% per annum. T2 is again 1 year. So I2 will be 2,800 into 12 into 1 upon 100. So I2 is equal to 28 12s are rupees 336. So A2 is P2 plus I2, that is 2800 plus 336. So this is 3136. So this is the total amount payable after 2 years. Therefore, total amount payable after 2 years is equal to rupees 3136. Now what he did was he paid rupees 2936 and a watch to clear the account. Total amount paid is equal to rupees 2936 plus a watch. Therefore 3136 is equal to, so to clear the account, because account was cleared after this, the whole amount was paid. Clear the account or clear the balance. So 3136 is equal to rupees 2936 plus cost of watch, right? Because this clears the whole account. So 3136 minus 2936 is equal to cost of watch. Therefore, cost of watch is equal to rupees 200. Cost of watch is rupees 200, right? So this is how you find the answer. I hope the doubt is clear from 2A. Let's move to the next exercises. Okay, in 2B, I think I cleared the doubt of 2B earlier. Let's talk about 2C. There is no doubt in 2B. Okay, 2C. Somebody was struggling with question number 2. Let's check it out. 2C, question number 2. This, a certain sum of money is put at compound interest, compounded half yearly. If the interest for two successive half years are 650 and 760.50, find the rate of interest. Great. 650, 760.50. Interest for first half year, that is I1, is equal to rupees 650. Interest for second half year, which is I2, which is rupees 760.50. Correct? We have to find the rate. So since you see half year over here, the procedure is not going to change, is it? The procedure will not change over here, or will it? Interest is compounded half yearly. Let's see. So the difference of interest, that is I2 minus I1, the difference of interest of for consecutive periods will become the new interest, is equal to I, that is the new interest, which is 760.50 minus 650. and that is rupees 110.50. This is the new interest. Okay, on the principal, which is the interest of the previous year. Principal is equal to interest of previous year, that is rupees 650, and the time I will take as half year. Let me check. If I take time as half year, what will happen? So time is equal to half year. Why I have taken time as half year? I've taken time as half year because they have given the interest of consecutive half years, not consecutive years. So we can find the rate. So I is equal to PRT upon 100. That is 650 into, I'm sorry about this, I need to write properly. So I is 110.50, principal is rupees 650, rate is unknown, time is half year upon 100, right? So the 10 will get multiplied over there, over to that side. So 110.5, 110.5 into 10 into 2 upon 65 is equal to R. 1105 into 2 upon 65 is equal to R. So R is equal to 2210, 2210 upon 65. So the answer is 34%. The rate is 34%. It might look wrong initially, but it is not. I checked the answer is correct. The rate is 34%. So here one catch is that if the interests for consecutive half years are given, then you take your time as half year and then solve it, you will get the correct answer. The next doubt is question number 12. The cost of a machine depreciated by rupees 4,000 during the first year and by rupees 3,600 during the second year. Calculate the rate of depreciation. Okay, this is easy. We have done a similar question, but we can again do it since it's a doubt. Okay, so this is question number 12. Okay, so depreciation is given. Depreciation during first year is equal to rupees 4,000. Okay, let's take this as I1. Depreciation during second year, let's take it as I2, which is rupees 3,600, and we have to first find the rate of depreciation, right? So what will be I will be the difference of depreciation, that is I1 minus I2 over here. 4,000 minus 3,600, rupees 400. So let's take the principal as the previous year's depreciation, not the lower amount, that is rupees 4,000, and time as 1 year, since these are depreciations of 2 consecutive years. So I is equal to PRT upon 100, which is 400 is equal to 4000 into R into 1 upon 100. So 400 by 40 is equal to R, and therefore R is 10% per annum. The rate of depreciation is rupees 10% per annum. Correct? This is the rate of depreciation. Okay, now let's check what has to be found next. So next you have to find the original cost of the machine and its cost at the end of 3rd year. Okay, original cost of the machine. Let's do this. We have got the rate and depreciation during the 1st year also we know. So we can find the original cost of the machine. This is the second part of the question. Let the original cost of machine be rupees X. Therefore, P1 is equal to rupees X. This is for the 1st year. R1 is equal to 10%. T1 is equal to 1 year. P1, R1, T1, and I1 is not known. Interest at the end of, oh sorry, I1 is known. It is 4000. Depreciation at the end of 1 year. Right? So let's find the original cost of the machine. I1 is equal to P1 into R1 into T1 upon 100. So 4000 is equal to X into 10 upon 10 into 1 upon 100. So X is equal to 4000 into 10. That is rupees 40,000. This is the original cost of the machine, rupees 40,000. And we have to find the cost of the machine at the end of 3rd year. So we cannot, we can do it directly. Don't have to, do it year by year. I'll show you how. The third thing, cost of the machine at the end of 3rd year. So cost of the machine at the end of 3rd year, how to find it? Now see, what was original cost of the machine? P1 is equal to rupees 40,000. And what is the depreciation during 1st year? The depreciation during 1st year is 4000, which is given in the question. Therefore, amount or the depreciated value at the end of 1 year is equal to P1 minus I1. Why do we are doing minus? Because this is a question of depreciation, that is reduction in price. 40,000 minus 4,000, that is rupees 36,000. Right? So this is the value of the machine at the end of 1st year. Similarly, the value of the machine at the beginning of 2nd year becomes 36,000. The depreciation during 2nd year becomes rupees 3600, and the value of the machine at the end of 2 years becomes 36,000 minus 3600. So 36,000 minus 3,000 is 33,000, and 33,000 minus 600 is 32,400. 32,400. So this is the cost of the machine at the end of second year. Now what will be the cost of machine at the end of third year? Now let's calculate P3 is equal to rupees 32,400. I3 we have to find. R3 is 10% per annum, that's the rate of depreciation, and T3 is equal to 1 year, and we have to find A3. So I3 is equal to 32,400 into 10 into 1 upon 100, which is rupees 3240. Therefore, A3 is equal to P3 minus I3, which is 32,400 minus 3240, which is rupees 29,160. Therefore, cost of machine at the end of third year is equal to rupees 29,160. Right, so that was your question number 12, or whichever number is in your textbook. Okay, so we did question number 2, question number 12 from here. Now two more questions I see here. Doubt question number 14. Let's do question number 14. The numbers of the questions in your textbooks are slightly different, but I have checked the questions are the same, so you please check with the question, not with the number, right? Find the sum invested at 10% compounded annually, on which the interest for the third year exceeds the interest for the first year by rupees 252. So they've given I3 minus I1 already. Interest for the third year exceeds the interest of first year. I3 minus I1, that is rupees 252. Interest of the third year is more than the interest of first year by rupees 252. And the rate is also given 10%. What you have to find? The sum invested, that is principal. So let the principal be rupees X. Right? We can find it easily. This is an easy question. All are easy questions, but since you have doubts, we have to solve them. Okay, let the principal be rupees X. Now what to do next? Now we have to do calculation for the first year. Therefore, just a moment. For first year, P1 is equal to rupees X, R1 is equal to 10% per annum, T1 is equal to 1 year, therefore I1 is P1 into R1 into T1 upon 100, right? So I1 will be X by 10. Can you tell me what will be A1? A1 will be P1 plus I1, which is equal to X plus X by 10. That is 11x by 10 rupees. 11x by 10 rupees for first year. Okay, let's do the calculation for second year. P2 is equal to A1, that is 11x by 10. R2 will be 10% per annum. T2 will be 1 year, and I2 will be 11x by 10 into 10 into 1 upon 100. So this will be 11x upon 100. So A2 will be P2 plus I2. So 11x upon 10 plus 11x upon 100. If I take the LCM, I will get 110x plus 11x the whole upon 100, that is 121x upon 100. This is A2. Now the calculation will continue for third year. Can you tell me what is the principal for the third year? Amount for the second year. That is 121x upon 100 will be the principal. What will be the rate? 10% per annum, same. What will be the time? 1 year. Okay, great. I3, 121x upon 100 into 10 upon 100 into 1. So I3 will be 121x upon 1000. Now what has been given to us in the question? I3 minus I1. So I3 minus I1 is equal to rupees 252. I3 is 121 upon 1000, 121x upon 1000 minus I1 is x by 10. So if we take LCM and simplify, this will become 121x minus 100x upon 1000 is equal to 252. So this will become 21x upon 1000 is equal to 252. So x is equal to 252 into 1000 upon 21. 21 12s are 252. So x is equal to rupees 12,000. Therefore, the final answer, what we had to find, the principal, right? So we have the principal. Let's write the final answer. Therefore, uh, principal is equal to rupees 12,000. Right? So that is how you solve question number 14. The next doubt is question number 16. A man borrows rupees 10,000 at 10% compound interest, compounded yearly. At the end of each year, he pays back 30% of the sum borrowed. He pays back, please focus on this. He pays fixed amount. Why? Because he pays back 30% of sum borrowed. And what is the sum borrowed? Sum borrowed is rupees 10,000. So what is 30% of 10,000? 30 upon 100, you know percentage, right? Into 10,000. So 30,000. Sorry, 3,000. 3,000. So he pays back rupees 3,000 every year. How much money is left unpaid just after second year? Okay, so this is easy. Let's do this. Man borrows 10,000 at 10%. and pays back 30% every year. So for first year, so what is the principal for the first year? Rupees 10,000. P1. Time 1 year and rate is 10% per annum. P1 T1R. We have to find I1. 10,000 into 1 into 10 upon 100. So I1 is rupees 1,000 and A1 amount at the end of 1 year, P1 plus I1, that is 10,000 plus 1,000, 11,000. P1 plus I1 is 11,000. Now, what is the amount repaid? 30% of sum borrowed, that is 30% of 10,000, that is rupees 3,000. Therefore, balance amount at the end of 1 year is equal to 11,000 minus 3,000, that is rupees 8,000. This balance amount will become the principal for the second year. So for second year, P2 will be rupees 8,000. T2 is equal to 1 year and R2 is equal to 10% per annum. So I2 8,000 into 10 into 1 upon 100. A2 is P2 plus I2, 8,000 plus 800, rupees 8,800, that is amount at the end of second year. So the according to question, now what they have asked in question, let's have a look again. How much money is left unpaid just after the second year? Just after the second year means not at the end of second year but after the second year. So we have to repay some amount repaid at the end of second year is equal to rupees 3,000. Therefore, balance amount to be paid is equal to rupees 8,800 minus 3,000. That is rupees 5,800. Balance amount to be paid is rupees 5,800. So the balance to be paid, we have found rupees 5,800 just after the second year. Let's check if rupees 5,800 is correct or not. This is question number 16 2C. Correct, 5,800. So I hope that doubt is cleared. Now 2D, just one question doubt in 2D. Question number 9. Ashok borrowed rupees 12,000 at some rate percent compound interest. After a year, he paid back rupees 4,000. If the compound interest for the second year be 920, find the rate of interest charged. Ashok borrowed rupees 12,000 at some rate percent compound interest, and after a year he paid back rupees 4,000. Okay, so for the first year he might have also paid some interest. So from the amount he paid back rupees 4,000, and the remaining would have become the principal for the second year, and then the compound interest for second year is 920. So we can find the rate. Okay, let me keep it over here. In fact, let me just okay. Let me erase this. Why is this bothering us? Solve. Okay, I'll just draw a line here. Let the rate percent be R percent per annum. Therefore, first year, for first year, P1 is equal to rupees 12,000. R1 is equal to R percent per annum. T1 is equal to 1 year, and I1 will be 12,000 into R into 1 upon 100. So that is 120 R upon 120 R. Just 120 R upon 1. Right? 120 R. This is the I1. Therefore, A1 amount at the end of 1 year is equal to P1 plus I1. What is P1? 12,000. What is I1? 120 R. 12,000 plus 120 R. P1 plus I1. Okay. Now this becomes A1 becomes the, oh wait, he paid back. There is a repayment. Repayment at the end of first year. Repayment at the end of first year is equal to rupees. Repayment at the end of first year is equal to rupees 4,000. And therefore, balance amount on which we have to calculate the interest for the second year is 12,000 plus 120 R minus 4,000. That is 8,000 plus 120 R. This is the balance amount. On this balance amount, the compound interest for second year is 920. Let's find that out. So for second year, P2 is equal to rupees 8,000 plus 120 R. T2 is equal to 1 year. R2 is unknown R, and I2 is rupees 920. I think so. Let's check. Is I2 rupees 920? Yes. Okay. How to calculate this? So I2 is equal to P2 into T2 into R2 upon 100. So 920 is equal to 8000 plus 120 R. 8000 plus 120 R into T2, that is 1, into R upon 100. This 100 will go to that side. So 920 into 100 is equal to R bracket 8000 plus 120R. I think we are looking at a quadratic equation. 92000 92,000 is equal to 8000 R plus 120 R square. What can we take common from here? 40. Yeah, 40 can be taken common. 92,000 is equal to, 40 comes out common. Here I think 200 R will remain inside. Correct? Plus here 3R square will be remaining inside. So 92,000 divided by 40 is equal to 200 R plus 3R square. So 23 fours are right. 23 fours are 4 threes are 12. 92, correct. So this will be 2300, 2300. So 3R square plus 200R minus 2300 is equal to 0. So 23 threes will be 69, and 6900's factors will give us, I'm doing splitting the middle term over here. If you remember, I have to multiply 3 with minus 2300. So that will be minus 6900. So I have to find two factors of minus 6900 such that the difference or sum will give me plus 200, right? So let's find the factors of 6900 here. Uh, the difference should be 200, right? Okay. Seven, 8, 15. 5s are 5 11s are 55, 2 remainder, 5 comes down, 25, 5s are 25. Again 5s are 5 2s are 10, 5 3s are 15, and 23 ones are okay. Uh, let's see how we get 200 over here. 2 2s are 4, 3s are 12, 5s are 12, 5s are 60, and 23 5s are 115. 12 5s are 60, 5s are 300. 23. Okay, I've got one idea. 23 5 into 2 23 into 5 into 2 is 230. So I'm taking, I'll tell you, I'm taking this 2 over here, this 23 and this 5 as a factor together. So it'll give me 23 into 2 into 5, that is 230, right? And I'm taking this 2, this 3 and this 5 together. So 2 3s are 6 5s are 30. 2 into 3 into 5 will give me 30, and their difference is 200. So we've got it. The factors will be 230 30s are 230 30s are, right? I want plus 200, so this will be plus, this will be minus, right? So 3r square plus 230, nothing will be common. Let me take it as, to simplify this, as 230, sorry, 3r square minus 30r plus 230r minus 2300 is equal to 0. So 3r will be common, r minus 10 will remain inside, plus 230 will be common, r minus 10 will remain inside. Therefore 3r plus 230 bracket r minus 10 is equal to 0, and therefore 3r plus 230 is equal to 0, or r minus 10 is equal to 0, which implies, let me create more space, r is equal to minus 230 by 3%, or r is equal to 10%. Now percentage cannot be negative, so we will not take this entry. So the rate which we are finding is 10%, and we have got it with the help of a quadratic equation. I hope you all have done the same way, because there is, I don't think there is any other way to find this. So we have got the rate, we got the rate. Now the amount of debt at the end of second year, right? We can find that. See, how we found the rate is by solving this particular equation which you see over here, this one. Now since we know the rate, we can actually find I2. Hey, we can find P2 actually. Therefore A2, amount at the end of second year, is equal to P2 plus I2. And what is P2? 8000 plus 120, R is 10, plus what is I2? 920. They have already given us that the amount, that the interest for the second year is 920 rupees, right? The compound interest for the second year is 920. We have to find amount of debt at the end of second year. Amount of debt means the final amount of second year. Okay, so what will this be? 8000 plus 1200, okay, plus 920. 8000 plus 1200 will be 9200 minus 920, sorry, plus 920. This will be 9200 plus 1000 is 10,200 minus 80, 10,120 rupees. 10,120 rupees will be the amount at the end of, or debt at the end of second year. Let's check the answer. This is question number 16 or something, right? Of 2D. 14th, no, 9th. 9th. Amount at the end of debt at the end of second year 120 and rate is 10%. So I hope you have used the same method which I have shown over here. That is just a moment. Let me zoom out a bit so you can see the whole thing. Hey, where is zoom out? Sorry. Yeah. So this is in front of you. I took the rate as R percent per annum. Okay. So I took the rate as R percent per annum for the first year. Then I found the interest for the first year in terms of R, if you can see that. Then I took the amount of the first year in terms of R, P1 plus I1, 12,000 plus 120 R. Then I did a repayment of 4,000 at the end of first year. So I got the balance as 8,000 plus 120 R. Then for second year, this became the principal 8,000 plus 120 R for the second year. And I had already the interest. So I got the interest in terms of R, and then I simplified it. To get a quadratic equation in terms of R, solve the quadratic equation, found the rate. After finding the rate, I put it in the formula of A2. A2 is P2 plus I2. I put the value of rate in the value of P2 and got the amount at the end of second year. That is the total debt to be paid. So this was the doubt. And so all the doubts which you have asked me are cleared in this particular mm, session, right? No more doubts, I think. Okay, great. So this is over then. I will see you in the next class.